Hey, it's Rena, and today I am back with another country review. Today, it's gonna be on Malta. So I'm currently here. I'm only gonna be here for a couple more days, so I feel like it's the right time to do this. As you know, or if you've seen the previous videos, the way that I go on this rank is based on the community, the beauty, and the quality of life of a specific place. Does it match the cost of living to the quality of life? And if you haven't checked out those videos, be sure to check them. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So let's dive right in. So just going through the background of Malta, there are a couple specific places that people try to go to. St. Julian's, Valletta, and Salema. St. Julian's is known for the nightlife that they have and the younger crowd. Valletta is known as the old town. It's where everyone seems to go. So you can say that's where the hustle and bustle is. And Salema is known for where couples and younger people will go for a little quieter life, but definitely has all the restaurants and that kind of foodie scene here. So let's start off with the quality of life. When I'm looking for certain places, I want to make sure that the quality of life matches the cost of living. Cost of living can be high, that's fine. But the quality of life better be up here, you know what I mean? Better be here. I feel like in this place, it's kind of here. Also, I have some tips at the end, so be sure to watch the whole thing. Starting off with the weather. The weather in Malta, beautiful. Anywhere I think you go in the Mediterranean is going to be beautiful year round. This place, I was expecting to need sweaters and jackets and all of that sort for December. I have been going out daily in skirts and t-shirts. The weather is beautiful. It gets to about 20 degrees Celsius a day here. The minimum that I've seen it be here is about 12 degrees in December, which I think is phenomenal coming from Toronto. Next, the people, amazing, stellar, perfect, polite, all English as well. Like, it seems that when people talk to you, they don't actually talk to you in Maltese. They talk to you in English, which I found very interesting. So that was an added bonus for me coming from Croatia and from Spain, where everybody is speaking Spanish and Croatian. I feel like I'm saying all the good things and then I'm about to slap you with all the bad things, but that's okay. So the bad part about the quality of life in Malta. Parking. Why is this an issue in 2024? I don't know. It seems to me that everywhere, kind of universally in Europe, there is a parking problem. This island was not built for cars, I'll say that. Neither were many European places, which granted at the times, I get why. But if you decide to come here and you want to bring a car, don't. Just Uber. If you want to go somewhere, just Uber. Your car will literally stay in your parking spot the entirety of your stay. And the reason why you won't move your car, even though you have one, is because in order for you to get the spot, if say it was a good spot, is a 90% failure rate of you getting that spot. So that is why my car has stayed there the entire time, because I don't want to lose my spot. And I say every day when I pass it, I'm like, oh my God, my car has the best spot, blah, blah, blah. I've never moved it. I've never driven it. I've driven it like twice. That's not good. In terms of the proximity of things, it's actually been really good. The grocery's nearby, the gym is nearby, all of that. But if you want to go to actual sites and see things, you need a car or you take the ferries. So that was my first ick. The second thing is food. The restaurants here are incredible, I will say that. It gives the very much Italian vibe everywhere you go. The problem with grocery stores, though, is accessibility to foods that you would find anywhere in like the US or Canada. Or even Spain, actually. The beef here, I don't know what it is, but it just tastes weird, and it's honestly like far and wide, like it's not very near. The steaks are expensive. You could barely find them in the grocery store. Maybe it's the one that I'm going to that's just downtown, I don't know. But it's expensive and it's not accessible, and then when you do get like ground beef, it tastes a bit weird. You have to try it to understand what I'm talking about. The prices are fine, comparable to somewhere like Croatia, but they're actually not as cheap as somewhere like Spain, which I thought was really weird because I didn't find that weird because we're on a literal island. But you know what I mean. They do have a lot of options, I will say, versus other countries that I've been to. I didn't expect to have so much diversity in the options on an island, but it actually does, so that's a good thing. That's a bonus. And finally, my last bad thing about the quality of life in Malta is that it seems to be that places seem inaccessible to get to, which is not good. For instance, if you are staying in Salema and you want to go to Valletta, you can't actually drive in there unless you pay money. So they have this like tax or fine or something that if you want to bring your car into Valletta, you have to pay money because now you're adding more cars to their already congested roads. So that's not good, it's terrible. So you have to take the ferry, and the problem is it's very unpredictable when it shouldn't be. So a couple nights ago, I really wanted to go to Valletta to see the lights. However, When I went to get the ferry, which had the time present, it said that I could go in like 15 minutes. The lights were literally off. The boats I saw them. They were fully like not functioning. So I don't know, you're kind of at the mercy of that. And I don't really like being at the mercy of someone else or an establishment or that kind of stuff. I'm not really a fan of. So in terms of being super accessible, I would say that Malta did not score high in that. Next, let's move into the community and the social life aspect of Malta. I think it's really hopping here. Like, I think there's a lot of people out at night. It's not me, but there's a lot of people out at restaurants, bars, and clubs. I went to a major club. I think it's called I don't know what it's called. Just look it up. It's like the biggest club of clubs in Malta. Incredibly inaccessible to get to. Like, I'm so happy I drove that night because you need a car to get there, number one. You'll figure out if you ever come here. Number two, if you want to go clubbing, I actually suggest going to St. Julian's. They have a whole strip that you can go clubbing, like club hopping. That's probably going to be better and cheaper. I went for like a Christmas event and the DJ also not hopping, not good. I was trying so hard to catch a vibe, caught nothing. I actually caught the car to get home. Like, that's how not good that was. Drinks were very, very expensive for like kind of watered down. In terms of the actual community that's here, socially, I would say it's a lot of expats. You will find literally every diversity. I was really scared as a brown girl coming here, thinking that I was going to be a minority. Very much am not. There is literally every culture here, every ethnicity that you can find. There's no minorities, I would say, here, which is so weird. It reminds me of the diversity in Toronto. Okay, the last one kind of ties into the beauty of the environment as well, but I put it as community too. And it is the things that you can do, the activities, the places that you can go, experiences in Malta. I feel like they're good, but once you've done it once, you'll never do it again. It's like not an experience that you need to do again. For instance, the Popeyes village, once you've seen it once, you've seen it enough. Like, I didn't even go in, that's the thing, and I don't think I would, just because you can see it all from the outside. Little life hack, don't go straight in, just go up this mountain and you can literally see it for free. But maybe it's me. I think the environment is what gets me to go back to somewhere, not necessarily the activity. They do have like Christmas markets and stuff happening. The problem with them, and the reason why I haven't gone, is because they're inaccessible without a car. And even if you have a car, you can't park anywhere because there's no parking available. And if you do want to go, you have to park insanely far away and walk to the thing. So you might as well just walk there in the first place. So maybe I'm salty about this. I don't know. I just want somewhere I can park, Like, I just think that's a big necessity in life. But, like, come on. So, into the last segment, the beauty section. Malta, hands down, like, wins in terms of beauty of a place. Like, it is so beautiful. The water is crystal clear. It's beautiful. It's blue. And if you go to certain places like Camino Beach, the water is so vibrant blue. It's like turquoise. Amazing. I made the mistake of not bringing a bikini the day that I went, so don't be me. Always bring your swimsuit if you're going there. However, this is where the bad part comes in. I have realized that there is a lot of beauty when you look externally into Malta. However, when you're actually there and you kind of like deep dive in and you get over like the honeymoon phase of thinking it's all perfect and blah, 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 you see issues. So one, I was driving around and I was having the time of my life, and the sights are all beautiful if you look on one side, but if you look at the other side, there's a massive landfill in the middle of the city, like massive. It's not hidden. It's very in the clear. That's not good. I get it. Where would it be? But like, it does take away from the beauty of the place when you look from one side and it's the ocean, you look at the other side and it's a landfill, so I don't know if you're me. Another thing is the water is very beautiful, and I was looking forward to going to the beaches and that kind of thing. The problem is accessibility to the beaches. A lot of them are very, very rocky in Malta, and the only time that it wasn't rocky was when I actually took that boat tour to go to Camino Beach. That was sandy. It's like a little sand in between all the rocks. But if you actually are on the island, it's a lot of rockiness to get into the water, and not a big fan of that. But there are certain beaches here. It's in December, so it's not very much of swimming season. And then the buildings are beautiful. I will say that the architecture in Europe is beautiful. I will say that. However, I am very much for like originality, and in terms of the major cities here, I'm talking about St. Julian's, Valletta, Salema. The condo buildings are pretty much built the exact same, where there are long, narrow hallways. And if I could show you, I would show you right now how narrow and long my hallway is, because the buildings are super, super skinny. There's hundreds of them stacked. So your view is of somebody else's balcony 90% of the time, unless you want to pay an arm and a leg to stay in front of the water. Life hack, if you do want to stay in front of the water, stay in St. Paul's. It's a lot cheaper and you get a water view, and it's a lot more peaceful over there. And it's super congested, I would say, in Malta, and that is a problem that a lot of the Maltese actually talk about, is the overcrowding and congestion of areas, like the big cities really. And that almost scares me because it's December and this is the off season. This very much is the off season, and people feel like that. So that's not a good thing in terms of the on season. That being said though, I did another video, if you want to check that out, about other like mansions and other places in Malta that have the original factor to it, and those are really, really beautiful. But you have to go outside of the cities to find them, so it's a bit of a drive. You definitely would need a car if you wanted to do that. But also the good thing that I did read about on Malta was that people usually in Salema will rich people watch, and they'll look for like the really nice cars that go by, and I didn't notice it until I read that. And I sat at a cafe and I watched all of these like supercars going by, thinking to myself, number one, where the hell are you guys? That's why I filmed that other video. But number two is that the demographic here definitely is thriving in terms of the social life, and people are putting money into this place. So it's definitely going to be developing. There are cranes everywhere in Malta, which tells you that they are investing a lot of money into this place. And I think over the next couple of years, Malta will adapt to the times in terms of like parking and in terms of accessibility, bigger roads, whatever that might look like. I think that they're definitely heading in that direction. So I think Malta is definitely a place to keep on the radar. In terms of ranking, so quality of life, I would give Malta a 6. In terms of the community and the social aspect, I would give them a 7, because I think it is thriving. It just might not necessarily be the thriving that I am looking for. But in terms of beauty, they get an 8. Maybe even a 9. Like the water is absolutely beautiful. If you have nice water, like you've already won me over. The sights are very, very pretty. There's just not a lot of greenery I find on the island. Like when I spot grass, I'm like, oh my God, like a rarity. So that is kind of what I would say that ranking would be. And then for a little life hack, if you do want to come to Malta, I heavily suggest you come in October time, either end of September or October, because all of the tourists will be gone. I've learned this by talking to a bunch of people from here and reading about it, but during that time all of the tourists have already left for the summer, so you get it all to yourself. The water has warmed up from the summer, so you're getting the hot temperatures. It's so beautiful to swim in, and you're getting tours by yourself. It's definitely more accessible to get places, like ferries stay open longer, it's not as cold, so it's still like the summer weather that you're looking for, and it's cheaper if you're looking for accommodations or things to do. So that is the life hack for you. And yeah, so I would give Malta a good 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I hope you liked the video. If you want to hear a little bit more about it, just let me know in the comments and maybe I can whip something up. But be sure to like and subscribe if you like it, and if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!